we will learn about some fundamentals, some React essentials about making React applications. No? Okay. So again, sa Genesis, let's acknowledge the presence of our founder. So again, he's also recording our session right now. And again, lahat ng sessions ng Core Plus will be uploaded in our official YouTube channel. So wait yun lang yan. And lahat ng link na ilalagay namin sa onboard.dev. So yeah. So today, we will learn some sort of... Hindi pala. So apologies for not having React session in this past couple of weeks kasi lumaban kami sa UMAC last 2 weeks ago about about what do I call this, about IT Olympics, tapos mabiding examination week, and then yung establishment ng org sa school namin, no? So maraming ganap, but yeah, tapos na naman sila and I have time right now to continue React sessions. So may konting adjustments lang. So every Saturday we have coding sessions, teaching concepts. But in kapag Sundays, magbibigay ako ng mga activities sa onboard.dev. So make sure to check that out. And yeah, lahat ng session natin is recorded. It will be uploaded in our official YouTube channel. And yeah, that's it. So again, welcome to React Sessions. So today, we will learn some other additional fundamental stuff which is crucial in building React applications. So ano yung mga yun? So today, natin yun yung tinatawag na yung tinatawag na React structure. So I want to put some emphasis on this one. Ano ba yung structure ng isang scalable? Ano ba yung structure ng isang React project in a way na scalable siya in the future? So let's say we're building a simple to-do application and we want to make it, or we want to add some advanced features like authentication, tapos we want to connect it to some sort of database. So pwede yan. So in those large concepts or features, dapat yung structure pa ng project natin ngayon pa lang is malinis na, no? So scalable enough for the future. And then ang sa natin ngayon today is yung tinatawag na calling third party packages. So napaka-importante na ito, no? Because in real world when we use React in building some sort of different applications, most of the time we will use some sort of third-party libraries kasi napaka-importante no? For example, ano yung mga popular libraries dyan? Siyempre Tailwind, third-party package siya, no? Bootstrap, ano pa ba? React Query, tapos state management such as Justland, all those stuff. So dapat malamat kung paano gamitin yung NPM and how to put them or integrate them in our React applications. So napaka-importante na. Next naman is yung tinatawag natin na handling forms or form handling. So napaka-importante na ito, no? Maraming ways on how to handle form submissions sa React, but in this session we will learn how to handle them effectively using state. Okay. And next, ano pang-aralan natin? Yeah, fetching data. So as you can see, form handling and fetching data. So ito yung common na ginagawa sa JavaScript, no? So I want to put some emphasis on this kung paano siya ginagamit sa React. Ano yung konting adjust nating alamin. Because it's very crucial in building new applications. So fetching data. Ano ba? So routing. We will learn how to set up some routes in our React applications, no? Using React Router. And bakit nga ba kailangan bakit nga ba importante yung routing in building real applications? So napaka-importante rin nun. And lastly, ano ba? Styling, yeah. and styling. So we've na talked on it before, but yeah, we'll do some actual coding about this styling stuff using, I don't know, maybe styling components and emotion. There's a lot in there's a lot of ways on how we can style our React components in React ecosystem. So yeah, ito yung ating in today, and then tomorrow I will upload some quest for this. So yeah, yun yung gagawin ngayon, no? Okay, so in my machine, I set up a React project, no? A React project. So I will open this in VS Code. Okay. I will change my profile to professional. Okay. So, wait lang, mali pala. Hold on. Okay, so ito yung na-setup ko kanina na ano, no, na basic na tawag ito, Vite project or React project using Vite.js. I use Vite for this. So if you keep familiar sa Vite, ito siya, no, Vite.js. So I use this to generate a React project. It's very easy to use this package, no. So ito yung basic ano lang niya, basic structure, yung pinaka bare minimum. And then nag-start na ako ng server dito, I believe. Hindi pa pala. So we will open the server. So we will open this in localhost 5173. Okay, so yun na yun, no? So for this part, alam natin yung project structure on how to structure it in a most clean way. Or hindi naman sa most clean way, pero yung isa sa pinaka-popular. Okay, in structuring our React applications, there's a lot of ways, no. And what's most important is React doesn't allow us, or hindi niya tayo binibigyan ng some sort of strict convention on how to structure our application. So nasa sa atin yan kung paano natin siya i-structure, no. So ang maganda dito, mas flexible siya in a lot of ways. Kasi since na hindi siya since React is, again, hindi siya opinionated framework, so we have a lot of flexibility in building applications. Mas marami tayong freedom. So again, so in common, what is common practice is, unang in most projects, real world projects using React, ang di mawalang folder dyan is yung folder na components. Okay, so components, dito nalagay yung buttons, no, na example ng buttons, yung mga usable card application. Ano ba? Cards. Okay, cards. What else? Di pala card pala. And then we have, I don't know, maybe ang patron, no? And so much more. So if you guys want to check all those most list ng components na pwede nating malagay, I have found a resource for that, which is called components.gallery. Hindi pala. Ano ba yun? Components. Gallery. Okay. So this website is amazing because pinapakita niyo lahat ng mga components, no? Lahat ng most modern components na most UI libraries like Flowbyte is yung meron. So dito yun. So paano di kayo mahirapan on what to add in your website, you can definitely check this out, no? Ang maganda rin dito is may mga examples na rin siya. So for example, this is a file upload component, no? Na ang ginagawa niya is you can upload your file. So yan. So I highly also recommend this site, no? Component.gallery. So there's a lot of things to put in a website using this. Para hindi na kayo mahirapan mag-decide kung what classic component yung ilagay ko dito just to present something dun sa website. And syempre may mga examples na rin siya, no? Depende sa project. But yeah, the general idea is meron na tayong idea on ano nga ba yung iba't ibang component na pwede natin ilagay sa isang website using this particular website as well. So yan. So yung nasa nasa project kanina, yung components. So maybe you want to add some, I don't know, maybe slider. So most of the time you can also create a slider folder here. Okay. And same with button, card, and jumpatron. So yun yung common, isa yung sa common way. But before we proceed, let's start something. Let's start from scratch. And I will delete this. Lahat ng content kabuburin ko muna, no? This one. Let's clean this up. Just to get started. Here, man. We delete this as well. Everything. Okay. Assets. I will leave assets. Okay. So yung naman is yung components, no? Component folder. So if you want to to put those particular components such as image component, you can definitely put it in here. So ang maganda dito, no, sa component folder, meron kang general single source of truth when you are accessing your components. Ano pa yung isang ito pang structure na pwede may lagay. Dito yung layout. So layout's basically a folder for your layouts. Ano ba example ng layout? Navbar, footer, aside, section, and others, no? So layouts is basically a special type of components na present sa lahat ng, or present mostly on your pages. So ano yung mga, syempre yung navbar, for example, navbar can be present hindi lang sa, for example, sa homepage, pwede rin siya present sa about page, sa contact page, diba? And same with the case of footer. Okay, so footer. And also add here, I don't know, maybe in navigation bar, navbar, or nav. So ayun, layouts is just basically a special type of components na pwede natin ilagay sa website natin, no, na present on most pages. So for example, natin footer in navigation bar, no. What else? Ano pa yung present? Assets naman, no. So assets. So dito nakalocate yung iba't ibang iba't ibang static resource sa website mo, no. So one example na syempre yung hindi pala. Sa case ng Vite, you have the public folder. So public folder in Vite is basically the folder kung saan dun usually nalagay yung mga static files such as images, fonts, videos, documents, kung meron man, kung gumagamit ka ng manifest file for your website, doon siya nalagay, no. So let's say you have some sort of, I don't know, images in here, and you have also fonts, and meron kami dito ang tinatawag na document or docs. Most people call it notes, but I want to call it document para mas no, document. So hindi ka nalagay yung manifest.json and mga ganun ang configuration files ng website. And fonts, syempre yung fonts, and images. So definitely yung mga static files na yun, i-group niyo sila in this particular public folder or assets. No, depende lang din sa framework na gamit nyo when you're creating a React project, no? Depende. I'll check Discord. Oh, so far, are we good? Okay. Doon naman sa part ng document, maybe meron kang gustong ilagay nyo sa website na downloadable, for example, a PDF file. So, pwede mo siya lagay dito, no? Document.pdf. Okay, so ano pa ba yung common na sa React most commonly? Just to make the project much more cleaner and scalable. Aside sa component and layout, most projects meron silang ginagawang folder called constants. Kasi yung constants is basically for those files na hindi na magbabago kahit kailan. Ano example nun? Syempre yung mga variables. So for example, may case na makita ka dito ang file called variables.js. So ano yung mga yun? Let's say ano kang variable na gagamitin sa application mo, no, na hindi na siya magbabago kahit kailan, regardless kung ano naman yung mangyari. So ano yung best example na? Syempre yung pi, no? Ano pa? Maybe you are using a particular what do you call this? A particular address. So if you are knowledgeable in, or if you have some basic knowledge in blockchain, you have this concept called address or yung hash. In the most part, yung hash hindi na siya nagbabago, no? So pwede mo siya ilagay dito. For example, gusto mong gamitin yung Ethereum to track a particular trade, no? Yan, gusto mo ilagay yung what they call this, yung address ng Ethereum, yung application. So ang ideal way dun is lagay mo siya dito, cons, and then lagay mo dito yung Ethereum, hindi pala Ethereum, yung basic lang, maybe yung name mo, no? Yung name. So for example, you want to export that, right? And cons, then you will say full name, then yung full name mo, no? So full name. So in this particular constants and variable file, dito naka-define lahat ng variable na constant, in which ang convention niya is dapat all caps siya, no? Tapos napaghihiwalay siya ng underscore, and then yung value na hindi na magbabago kahit kailan. So that's the concept of constants folder, because kung may ganito kang variable na gagamitin mo all throughout your application and hindi na siya magbabago and gagamitin mo siya multiple times, so mas maganda na ilagay mo siya dito, no? Gumawa ka ng folder called constants. Then kung variable siya, lagay mo siya variables. Kung ano naman siya, kung functions naman siya, let's say functions.js, no, file functions.js. Let's say there's some sort of function here na nag-calculate ng word function, calculate, maybe salary, or di pala, calculate sabi na ganon, and gagamitin mo siya all throughout your application. Maybe naman sa calculators, maybe maybe I don't know, maybe format text. So ayun, so functions and variables, most commonly may meta ko yung fold dyan na nag-reside sa constants. So ito yung mga parts na hindi siya magbabago and gagamitin siya all throughout the application. So pwede kasi yun functions. So yun, constants. That's the constants folder for you, no? So napaka-importante niya kasi maganda dito, yung code mo is meron ka ng mas madali mag-debug kasi meron kang isang place kung saan ka mag-edit ng code, so ka mag-debug. And then marami din tayong nasusunod na tinatawag na design principles. So design principles in programming is just basically some sort of conventional rules na pwede natin sundan to make our code much more cleaner and to make our application much easier to debug and scalable siya in the future. Hindi siya mahirap what do you call this, i-maintain. So napaka-importante rin nun. So yeah, doing this some sort of little tricks will make your application, will boost also the application and your developer experience. Kasi mas mas for me mas ideal siya gawin kaysa sa i-declare mo siya sa isang place and then throughout the application doon mo siya gagamitin. So again, constants for basically those entities, for example variables and functions na hindi na magbago kahit kailan, and then gagamitin mo siya all throughout your application multiple times. Pero pag sinabi kong hindi na magbago, hindi ibig sabihin nun hindi mo siya pwede refactor, no. Ang tanging isa lang para magbago siya is you want to refactor it, but yeah, pwede yan. What else? You have the constants, you have the layout, you have components, you have assets. Okay, dito na papasok yung concept na tawag na libraries, no? Libraries. So, and services. Unahin ko muna yung folder na libraries. Okay. Let's assume na you have some sort of application. You have an application na meron siyang need niya mag-fetch ng data from a particular API. So naisip mo, what if gumamit lang ako ng library para doon, no? So why not? And then that particular package, for example, you have Axios. Meron kang different configuration or settings para sa library niya, which is yung Axios to fetch some data from the server. Okay. So the ideal way is, since na third-party package siya, ilagyan mo siya sa libraries. So, or sa services. Either way pala, pwede rin yun. But yeah, either way, libraries or services, dependent. Parehas naman siya, no? Okay. So if you want to, let's say, you want to some, I don't know, maybe, next one. Okay. So another example, maybe yung application mo gusto mo siyang lagyan ng authentication, meaning pwede mag-login o mag-logout sa user, no? Pwede kasi yun sa React. So using Nextauth, basically isa siyang authentication library, no? Putting them in this particular folder, which is libraries folder, will make your code much, again, cleaner kasi nakaseparate yung configuration ng third-party package na to sa application mo, no? So ang maganda kasi dito, no, kapag yung package na to, which is Nextauth, is nag-update and your old code is some sort of problematic, then na siya nagpa-follow dun sa latest version. Again, another win is madali mo siya madidebug and madali mo siya mababago, no? So yun yung concept. So if you have some sort of third-party library na may configuration na kailangan sundin, the most conventional rule is gumawa ka ng folder and then name it libraries or services, and then gumawa ka ng file doon in which doon nag-reside yung actual what they call this configuration on how to use that particular package. So that's the idea. So marami pa yan. So let's say you have maybe you are creating a full stack application, so gumagamit ka ng MongoDB. So let's say magamit ka ng MongoDB, is basically a database. You can definitely put them in your particular folder or file, which is MongoDB, in which lahat ng connection mo in a particular MongoDB database and configuration is nandito sa file na to. So maganda dito is, again, separate yung configuration dun sa actual application. Kasi, again, what if in the future meron silang mga major updates, no? So para mas madali i-debug sila and mas malinis yung application kasi nag-group natin sila into places. So, the general idea is, gumawa ka ng folder na called libraries for those particular third-party packages. So, napaka-importante din kasi nun eh. Okay. So, sample lang to, MongoDB tsaka Nextcloud. There's a lot of things in or packages na pwedeng gawin na may kailangan ng separate configuration. Pero doon sa sabing lahat ng third-party packages kailangan may ganito, no? No. What I mean is that kung yung particular package na yun is kailangan may configuration sila, no? Na crucial on how to use them. So, the general and most ideal way is to create a folder again, code for them, and then create a file for them also, in which nandun yung mga configurations. I hope it makes sense. I will check our Discord. Ay, mali pala. I guess I'm doing good. Okay. Ano pa yung file na commonly nakikita natin, no? Based on my observation on other people's repository, ang isang folder na hindi nawawala is yung tinatawag na tawag dito. Types. Yung gumagawa kasi na ito, no? So, types is for TypeScript. Pero hindi din ako TypeScript, pero gusto ko nang bigyan ng idea, no? TypeScript, mabilis lang, no? TypeScript is just a superset ng JavaScript in which nag-add siya ng additional features sa JavaScript in which to make our code much more stronger. That's the idea of TypeScript. So, yung mga types na yun, for example, string type, you can definitely put them in here, particular folder. But yeah, hindi na mag-deep dive doon. Yung mga types niya is commonly, may mga developers na magawa ng separate file for those types. And then, doon ako define yung mga types. But for now, hindi na ako masyadong mag-deep dive. I just want to magkaroon ko ng idea na may mga ganong parts, no? Na pag nakita ko ng types, most likely, the project is using TypeScript. And doon nakalagay yung mga types nila for that particular project. Ano pa yung example din? Ano pa yung mga folder? Yung tinatawag na models. So, models nakalagay yung para sa database. Okay? So, for example, ginagawa lang to pag may full stack application kasi most likely, no? Ginagawa tong models to make the interaction with the database much more dynamic. So, yung reason. Kaya ginagawa yung models folder. Okay. So, yun. So, models, no? Para dito ko define yung anyo ng data. So, para di naman siya mag-type din dito kasi to sa part to ng database. And if you're creating full stack application, most likely may encounter na to. Okay, ano pa yung isa pang gusto ko i-tackle? Okay, stores. Stores. So, yung mga developers na ito yung common na may encounter natin, no? May mga developers na ginagawa nila is so in React again naturo ko na yung concept ng state. So state is basically reactive variables. So ayun, other developers ginagawa nila is gumagawa sila ng folder called stores, and doon nakalagay yung mga state. So for example dito. Okay. And then I will import. I will create a state. Okay. Import use state. And then I will say once, I don't know, maybe name use set name. And then I will say use state. Ganyan. So, yung iba, instead na mag-define sila dito ng state, ang ginagawa nila is magawa sila ng stores. And then let's say I will put this, let's say user yes, ganyan. I would say, ayan, import, use state. Okay, ganyan. Then dun ako define yung yung state na. Sige, ayan, yung mga pa kasi gumagawa ng ganyan, no? Or, di pala, yung the most ideal way kaya gumagawa ng store folders kasi gumagamit sila tinatawag na state management libraries. So, state management libraries is just basically packages na sinasimplify nila yung pag-manage ng state. So again, nabalik yung code kanina. So state management libraries, ang ginagawa nila is they manages our state in a much more different manner aside from this one na may name ka dito and then set name. So kapag nakita ka ng stores, most likely para siya sa mga state management libraries alongside those states na minamanage ng state management libraries na yun. And then ang maganda dito kasi since may isang folder siya, ang maganda dito is for example say itong yung name state kanina, for example dito meron kang name store dito, no? And then currently ginagamit mo siya sa homepage. So maybe kailangan mo yung state na yun sa iba't ibang page. For example sa about page kailangan mo yung name na state. So ang maganda dito, since meron ko ng isang lugar ng place or isang place kung nasan yung state, madali na lang i-propagate yung state na yun in different location in our application. So meron kang again another general source of truth in terms of managing states and other concerns. So yun yung, so most likely pag nakita ka ng stores, nandun yung concept ng state management libraries na ginagawang globally mga states na yan. Okay, so yeah, but again this particular folders, ito lang yung commonly na nakikita ko, no? But yeah, it's sky's the limit as long as wala kang nababirik sa syntax ng React, gagana yun kahit ano ka sa folder structure pa yan. And then wala kang dapat folder na parang ano mo yun, walang dapat place or gumagawa ka ng folder na nasa appropriate place yung project mo. For example, hindi ka pwede gumawa ng project nyo sa may node modules. So most of the time this is a special type of folder. So most of the time di ka dapat nag-modify dito ng kung ano, unless you know what you are doing. But yeah, for the most part hindi suggested na may pag-interact sa node modules. It is automatically managed by the package manager, which is in this case in npm. So yun, so most of the work depending on the framework, on kung ano yung ginamit mo to generate a React project, most likely sa source folder ka tatrabaho, no, most of the time. Pero depende pa rin sa framework. So for that, I definitely recommend checking yung documentation because may iba-iba kasing framework on how to generate a React project. So yeah, it depends pa rin sa framework. But for the most part, source folder will be karamihan naman yun yung mga source folder. But yeah, depende pa rin. Okay, so I guess yun lang yung common na na folders. Wait lang, may add pa ako dito. Hold on. Okay, so lastly siguro, last na lang, may mga tayong folder na called features. Ayan, features. So dito lagay yung mga iba't ibang features ng application. So yan, common yan, features. And then most likely may mga subfolders pa yan dito. For example, meron kang feature for I don't know, maybe shopping cart, ganun, and so much more. So most of the mga features na yan is basically the actual contents of the application na sobrang laking concern nila to the point na depende mo na team, gumawa sila ng folder called features and then doon nilalagay yung mga features na yun na present yung sa application. So for example, yung shopping cart in some application is a very crucial feature in which yung code dyan is most likely dapat magbago over time depending on the situation and the updates. But yeah, most likely yung mga bigger concerns sa application sa features na nalagay. So yun. Most likely but yan, depende pa rin sa team and sa inyo kung paano siya i-manage. Meron lang case talaga na may mga gandang gumagamit ng features folder. Siguro last na lang what else? Hooks. Okay, hooks. So dito lang lagay yung mga hooks. So in your word React applications interest na gumamit ka ng third-party hooks such as gagamit ka ng hook for copying the content of a particular thing. For example, yung button, pag nilik siya dapat makakopy mo yung laman ng text area or input. So pwede kang gamit ng hooks for that. So yan, meron akong folder for hooks. So mga dito sa hooks folder is ayun. Globally mga files mo and pwede mo siya magamit all through your application. So again, meron ka ulit single source of truth for your hooks. And yeah, I guess that's most likely yun, no? Sa part nung application. Siguro may isa pa, maybe in data. Okay. If let's say a type ng constants, kung ano yung mga data, most likely nakalagay dito yung JSON files. Mga files din na hindi na sila nagbabago, pero for the sake hindi sila masyadong present o ginagamit multiple times. So may makita ka dito gumagamit ng data folder for those type of files na may data, for example JSON files and CSVs, comma separated values na files. So most likely nakalagay sila dito, and then you want to read the content of those particular file, yung JSON and CSV. So pwede mo sa ilagay dito sa data. Hindi suggested na ilagay mo siya sa public. Hindi suggested unless it is only downloadable. So yan, pwede mo siya ilagay sa document. But yeah, kung yung klase ng file is again to propagate some data to our application and hindi siya magbabago pero hindi naman siya masyadong nagagamit all throughout, pwede mo siya lagi sa data most likely, but again it depends. So makita kang gumamit yung data. So yeah, I guess that's it for the React project structure. Okay, so right now let's install some third-party packages. Gusto ko itong bigyan ng emphasis na. Bakit? Kasi most of the time as we progress in using React, syempre gagamit talaga ng third-party packages. An example na, let's say before we install a particular package, I want to introduce Newfangle, which isa siyang package directory, no, in which anyone can push some package dito. So, sa pagkakalam ko, pwede kang gumawa sa ng package. So it's basically a play store for all your dependencies na for developers. So for example, you can use Bootstrap. Pwede mo siyang dito and so much more in this. But I want to emphasize kung paano mag-install ng third-party package. Okay. So for example, you want to install yung basic lang, UID is for the sake of generating unique string na pwede magamit for IDs. So pwede yan. Yan. Okay. So you can install this. So depende sa framework mo, no? Kung ay sa package manager, kung gumagamit ka ng Yarn or PNPM or NPM, is may iba-iba sa syntax, but yeah. So it's basically it. Iba-iba lang sila ng context, but yeah, they all used to install packages. So again, I will install any UID in this to generate some unique hash in our application, and then pag-install natin sa kanya, import natin siya, no? So import natin siya. Then let's say in this, okay, and then let's say each one, and then yung mag-generate ng bagong next string. Okay. So if we open up the application in localhost 5173, so yun. So yun yung yun yung unique hash. Okay. So marami so ito lang yung pinaka-basic na packages. So there's a ton of package na pwede natin install. So I want to give emphasis lang dito na depende sa package manager. In this case, gumamit ako ng npm. If you're using pnpm or yarn, alamin nyo lang yung syntax sila. But yeah, most likely dito manggagaling yung package, no? Na yun. So ano pa yung pwede natin install? Let's say syempre React, diba? Pwede yan. Then we can also use React icons. If you want to add some icons in our application, pwede to, React icons. So I'm gonna just install this. And then I believe meron silang official website eh. Icons. Pwede tayo mamili ng mga icons na. For example, this one, artisan icons. So I want to import this particular icon. And then I will put it in our application. So also alert. No. Let's see. Okay. So hindi yung icon, no? So yeah. So that's basically how to install a particular package, third-party packages na pinag-Google, and this particular we can use Google to search for those packages na kailangan natin for a particular use case. But yeah, that's the idea. And yung ginagamit for for adding some icons and generating unique hash for maybe or IDs, no? So yan. Yun yung ganun yung pag-install ng third-party packages, which is very crucial. Kasi most of the time we will use, instead of creating something from scratch, mas pipili na lang natin mag-install ng third-party packages kasi mas madali at mas mabilis. Yeah, because most developers also do that para mas umadali yung code, para mas luminis din yung code, tapos para mas para mas organize yung code din, kasi alam natin kung ano yung mga code na galing externally and internally, kung ano yung code na tayo yung sumulat tsaka hindi tayo yung sumulat. And I think it's very crucial in debugging our applications kasi alam natin kung saan tayo mag-start. Alam din natin kung ano yung source of problems all throughout. Ano pa yung package na pwede kong install? This for particular tutorial maybe. But that's the idea. Install for some particular package. What else? Yes, yeah. Yan. Iman for now, no? So React icons. So you find want some icons in your particular website, and then yeah, I think ako na tayo sa part ng third-party packages. What else? Hold on, inom lang tubig. Hold on, guys. Okay, so siguro yung isang pangit yun lang na gustong isolis yung tinatawag na ano tawag this? Ano yun? Underscore. Okay, underscore. So underscore is basically isang library for utility functions. For example, if instead na mag-read ka ng code na mag-sort ng array of numbers. So meron kang option na mag-install ng third-party packages, which is this one, underscore. But yeah, yan. Isa sa pinaka-useful libraries out there. Such as, ano ba, Lodash. Isa rin ito, pinaka-crucial. If we're building with Node Express. So yeah, it's pretty crisp. So yeah, that's the idea. And may isang lang, may isang concern ako na gustong itakal. Installing a third-party package is not always the first first option when dealing with something. So it depende pa din for example, sobrang basic lang nung feature or functionality, and yun ang talagang option to finish that particular task. So yeah, di mo na kailangan mag-install ng third-party package. For me, it will depends on kung ano yung pinakasimple sa lahat, no? Kasi may mga library kasi na sobrang complex kung gamitan. Pero may mga library din na sobrang dali. Same goes with writing your custom code. May code na madali lang i-write, pero may code na sobrang complex i-write, and that's the time nagagamit ng library. So I want to emphasize na hindi sa lahat ng oras kailangan natin gamit or mag-install ng library. Pero hindi naman sa lahat ng oras kailangan natin mag-write ng code from scratch. It depends pa rin on the team, on your project, on your preferences, kung ano yung mas simple. It depends. I just want to keep the emphasis na nagawa tayo in building applications. Okay. What else? So yan. Hindi ko tayo sa third-party packages. Unahin ko muna yung iba, no? For example, yung styling. Unahin ko muna yung form handling. Okay. Hindi pala. Unahin ko muna yung form handling. Okay. So, hold on. Let's say I have a form here. Hold on. Inom ng tubig. Okay, so for example, form handling in React. So hindi natin ng state na with this as well. So, ang gawin naman ako ngayon is parte ng code na. So for example, may I have a form. And then, let's say, mayroon akong ano ito, for example, label. Oh no, maybe label. And then, ano, maybe username. And then, sabi sa semantics, dapat ang label is nasa yung input. Is dapat nalulunod ng label. Then yeah, tapos ang ano niya is type niya is username. Okay. Same pa din sa simpleng HTML, no? Pero dito, I believe, kapag sa React, if you want to use the plain form handling or form submission, sa React kasi guys, man ako niya. In-form sa React kasi, pwede kang gumamit ng third-party packages in dealing with forms. Pero, I want to give example pa rin, pinaka-basic on how to deal with forms in React. At the same time, on how to use state with this particular functionality. Kasi madali lang naman siya gawin, no? So in this particular form, I believe meron ditong maglagay ako dito ng on submit, maybe, event. And then nagawa ko din ng function called once handle submit. Okay. Then dito nagiging is on submit. Let's say handle submit. So, pag-confirm na to is na-submit siya, mag-run tong code doon, no? But for this particular, for this particular, this particular thing, I will add a parameter called yung event object, and then yung E dot target. Okay. So in JavaScript, if you want to handle form submission sa JavaScript, diba yung ginagawa is dito, yung ginagawa is yung relevant default. Okay. Ba't ginagawa yung prevent default? Ginawa to kasi kapag yung form is na-submit, ang native na mangyayari sa browser is mag-reload siya. Yun yung default na ng mga browsers nowadays. Kapag nag-submit ka ng form or pinag ka ng button na nagsasubmit ng form, mangyayari is mag-reload yung browser. So, hindi natin ma-handle yun ng properly. So, in React, no? So, ang gagawin natin, ang ibig sabihin ng code na to is, kapag yung form is na-submit siya, so the handle submit function will be called, and then in that prevent default means don't reload the browser. So don't full reload. So hindi mag-reload yung browser. Ano yung pwede natin gawin? So we can some sort of, I don't know, maybe leave natin yung input ng user data, for example. Yan. Okay. So kapag nasubmit yung browser, kapag nasubmit yung form, ano yung browser, ano call this, hindi siya mag-reload, just like what we did in JavaScript. So ganun pa rin yung concept na same pa din. And then support ng input name, username, and then gagawa tayo ng state data, for example, username, and then set username, and maybe dito under submit, hindi pala, gagawa lang tayo ng ano para mabilis lang, no, ng object once user data. Hold on. Okay, so yan, user data. Then I will say here, set user data. And I will say, I don't know, this state, syempre. Then you have username. Baka yung password. Okay. And then ito na yung natin, and then we will log those particular user data. O kapag sinilabit ng user yung form, mangyari is maglalag lang yung input niya sa console. So yung label, then yung lane break para pag ano lang, and you copy this username and ito na parang necessary, HTML4 with this and this one too, password, and then type password. And then so yung plano, may ganapat ng isang ilagay na function which is yung mag-handle ng pag-change. So let's say input cons on the input change. Okay, then syempre may itong event object para makuha natin yung value. And then kapag mag-change yung change, ganun yung change yung and then since meron tayong state for username, lagay tayo dito na value syempre, and then user data dot username. Okay, natin yan same sa password. Here's the password, so change and then handle input change and right, then you password and value is user data that password. Okay, then dito sa part na to, then natin siya may set, so kapag nag-type si user dun sa may field, so nag-trigger yung function na to. So once then natin malagay dito yung I don't know, maybe value. Okay, and then forget, and then set form data. Okay, set form data today, set user data. Okay, and then data. Data. And name. Then forgot lang yan, shortcut. So break. Yun, we have some sort of dito, so ito na yung basic form handling sa React. So you have meron tayong state, so state which is yung isang object, user data and user data na may field na username and password. So yun yung state natin, and then we have some sort of function here na mag-handle ng change. So kapag si user nag-change siya, mangyari, so we may name siya value on that particular object, and then masaset natin yung state, user data, which is this one, and then yung value depende sa pinasa ng user, and then how to submit which is mag-run siya kapag si user nag-submit siya. So again, hindi mag-reload yung browser kapag nag-submit na kayo, no? And then, syempre, yung ano pala, yung button, ano ba natin yung button? I would say, your button. Submit. Okay, ano yung markup dito for username? And then yung input, which is in text, again, username siya, no? And then yung answer change, input change, on change, and then yun, same goes sa password. So let's try this to see what happens. And then update din natin yung DevTools. Okay, so I will say username, and username. Natin siya mag-reload yung browser. Wait lang. I'll check the docs. Hindi ata. Hold on. I'll just submit. Oh. My bad. We'll refresh our page. Admin. So, nag-reload yung page, no? And then, may ito natin sa... So, yun. Naglag siya. So, kanina kasi, no? Kaya hindi siya mamana. Nalagay ko kasi yung target dito, no? So, dapat yung ano muna, yung event object. And then, tawag dito yun. Pagpunta sa may under submit, doon natin siya i-prevent na mag-reload yung browser. So yun yung basic na formatting sa React, no? Para lang siyang same lang din sa JavaScript. Kasi sa JavaScript kasi ganito rin yung ginagawa eh. Most likely ito rin yung ginagawa. Pinaprevent din yung mag-reload yung browser para makuha yung user input ng user. Hindi mabura yung enter niya. And then, so yun. And then, nilag natin yung user data. Since na object siya, yung user data. Naging possible yun na, object siya. And then, ang isang takeaway dito is, since state, for those data, so nag-update yung data, yung state, on kapag nag-detect user. So for example, I-type admins and iba na yung data niya, no? So since na it just a proof na nag-update siya through the use of state. So yun yung state. So yeah, that's basic from hunting sa React, no? I will check Discord kung may comments. Oops. Oh yun, I guess it's working fine and dandy. So yeah, that's basically basic from hunting sa React, no? Sa pag-fetch naman ng data. Okay. Sa pag-fetch naman ng data sa React, same din. Pero this time gagamit tayo ng use effect. Use effect again, it is basically a hook na pwede natin magamit no, for those functionalities na mag-run, na pwede mag-run when your application starts. So for example dito, we just use effect one time, then we pass a function, and then this particular function malagay tayo dito na dependency array, but for now we will just empty dependency array, make our code run only one time, and then nandito yung code na yung pag-fetch ng data. So gagamit tayo ng API for this, which is yung JSON server. Okay, but yung server, what all this? JSON placeholder. Okay, we'll use this particular website to fetch some basic data. So for example yan, ito yung ginagamit, no, isang public API just to fetch some random data. Okay, just to test. So gagamitan siya dito sa React. So for example din this one, gagamit yung effect, and then we want to display the value of this particular, this particular response. So we'll copy this code. Copy this. We use the built-in fetch API in the browser. Okay. Then we'll log this. So since we put this particular fetching code sa effect, so mangyayari is in the first start of our application, mag-fetch ng data dun sa API, which is yung JSON placeholder, and then mag-return siya ng promise. Okay, so yung promise na yun will be consumed using the then syntax ng JavaScript. And then this particular code, gagawin niya is, since mag-return yung server ng JSON, gagawin niya is format na yun. And then the next then mangyayari is, since mayroon na access sa JSON, ma-access mo na yung na-parse na data na return dun sa server. So let's check this out. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so yun yung na-fetch, no? Ayun yung na-fetch na data dun sa server, in which pwede natin siya ma-access, pwede natin siya ma-consume. So for example, we will use try catch in here, which meron akong dito, and then we'll say maybe response wait just one. Okay. Stop the pausing. Dapat siya. And then dito areas data goes to response JSON. Okay. And then hindi natin siya mamalag pala. Siguro gawa lang dito ng object. We just data, that data, and then await ulit dito. And I will basically out. Okay. And then dito sa main sa part na yun, so pwede natin gawin as log yung data. Okay, so same thing yung mangyari. So yun, yung data, nag-display siya, no? And then yung data na yun, pwede natin siya magamit yung sa application natin. For example, maybe h1, and then I will use data the title pwede yun. Hold on. Okay, mali pala. May daling settings ko ito. Hold on. So yung data. Ito data. Comment ko muna to. Response.json. Then let main data. So yeah, that's basically on how you can fetch naman the on how kung paano mag-fetch ng data from the server. So depende kung gagamit ka ng fetch API ng browser, dito mo ilagay sa may use effect. And okay, and then tawag dito. And then yun. Diyan mo siya i-store, and then diyan mo ilagay yung fetching algorithm mo sa loob ng use effect. And then you will then consume it. And those you can use those data na fetch mo in your application. So that's the idea. Hold on. So yeah, yun yung concept na mamaya ko na-fix yung sa may part ng fetching data. What matters na natin na fetch natin yung data on the server from the server So yeah. What else? Pwede nating haralin. So yun sir, also may part ng routing tsaka styling. Okay. We will set up some routing stuff sa application natin. So I guess I will just maybe delete this. Delete ko muna to guys. Hindi. Comment ko muna ito mga to. Okay, and then mag-install tayo ng package called React Router. React Router. So we will just install it. No, I will use that command. Install ko ng React Router. React Router lang. Okay. Pero bago tayo mag-start sa React sa routing, ba't nga ba kailangan ng routing? React kasi is a framework, right? As a library. So kapag gumawa ka ng application using React, your application is a single page application, SPA. So bakit importante yung routing sa part na yun? Importante yung routing kasi to manage links, dynamic links in our application para hindi mag-reload yung state or hindi mag-reset yung state at the same time. At the same time, aside sa hindi mag-reload para hindi mag-reload yung state, importante rin yung what do you call this? In terms of managing a lot of pages at hindi siya mag-trigger ng full page reload. In which siya yung nagkakos ng pag-reset ng state. So kailangan yung routing. So sa part na yun. So for this part, we will use React Router to manage different pages. So basic lang. Ito kasing React Router, siya medyo advanced siya, marami siyang features. But for this particular tutorial, I want to guys magkaroon ka ng idea na pinagawa yung routing in building with applications to manage our pages in a great manner. It's very crucial then building real applications. So yun, nag-install tayo ng package React Router lang. And then gagawin natin ngayon is we'll set this up, set up our application. I believe ginagawa yung sa main Okay. So follow me along on this particular sa pag-setup. So first of all, mag-import muna tayo ng yung create browser router, and then yung route object pala. Okay. And then sa part na yan, so may natin route object, gagawa tayo dito na we will delete this out muna delete muna natin yan yung app, and then ang gagawin natin is mali pala, hindi pala route object, ano pala ito, router provider. Okay. Router provider And then gagawa tayo dito ng object called router, in which we will use that particular create box router function that accepts the object kung saan i-define natin yung routes natin. So, ay, hindi pala object, sorry. Ano siya? Array siya ng object, in which it take first parameter which is path, then yung path ng yung page kung saan siya available. Right? So, dito siya. So, let's say we want to make the home, gusto natin mag-define ng homepage na present sa endpoint na yan. So yan, we will use that particular backslash or slash. Slash. And then next is when it's element. So mamaya or maybe lang yung app. Okay. App. Okay, yung app component natin, no? Okay, and then gagawin dito is mag-define tayo ng path, and then yung isa pang route, or maybe mag-define tayo ng tatlong route. Maybe about and maybe contact, which we define tayo ng page, separate page for that. So let's say gawa dito ng page for pages, no? Hindi pala guys, no? May mga interest na gumagawa ng pages folder for different pages ng application. So gawa dito ng about page, about.jsx, say about function. Yung basic lang ng gagamitin natin, one same din sa part nung contact. Okay, contact sex, say for default function, and contact. Okay, balik ko na may contact ang paano, and then I will import them dito as pages, kasi nangyari is kapag si user nagdiretso sa slash about, mag-open na pages yung about page. So ayan yung kanina use yung contact, and then same dito, no? Kapag si user nagdirect sa slash contact, mag-ano siya doon sa contact page. Okay, ano yung next part? So since na-define na natin yung routes natin, kailangan natin lagay dito yung route provider, yung part ng kanina, no? Para mag-define yung mga routes na yun, and automatic na ma-resolve yun ng browser nandito yung router provider. Oops. Then tumatanggap siya ng available na ito yung router, and then yung router object na ginawa natin ngayon lang to define those routes. Okay, so yun. So ginagawa ito is, so in-import natin yung create post router ng router provider. So para magawa natin ng routes, kailangan natin gumawa ng router object using this particular function, in which it accepts an array of objects, in which yung mga individual object na yun is meron siyang required property called path tsaka element, yung path in which kung saan magiging available yung particular page na yun or component na yun, in which case ginawa natin is sa slash blank mag-open yung app natin, which is yung current, then sa part ng about, which is yung about, open yung about, same with sa contact, no? And then ginawa din dito is minout natin yung router provider, in which tumatanggap siya ng prop, which kinatipang sa yung nagawa natin mga routes kanina, so yung router. So yeah, let's test this particular basic application. So kapag si user nag-direct sa main, I'll close this. Oh no, wait lang. Router. And then about no. Then kapag reach natin yung element up. Hold on. Ano nangyari? Moment. And then I would say we'll comment this out. This stuff muna for now. Home. Okay. And then kukunin ko muna ito mga tayo dito na ano. Or yung mga examples natin i-upload ko lang ito sa GitHub. Yung mga ano, tawag ito. Kapag na-upload na natin yung mga sessions natin, i-provide ko yung mga nagamit na resources dito sa repository natin sa FWDP. Yeah, SID So in this particular endpoint, so /black, so naging available yung app which is in home. And then pag type ko dito is about, automatic yung about kanina, and then contact mo. So yung nakapagsetupan ng routing. Ang pwede bang next na gawin dito is on how to direct to different pages. So for example sa about so mag-direct sa link. Gusto mo mag-direct sa hold on. Ibang page, for example, gusto mo mag-direct sa maybe sa home, you can use this home. Mag-direct sa contact, pwede rin. And you can say here contact, right? Yung go sa sa may part nung dalawa kanina yung sa may contact page. Ano siya lagi dito? Capture na ito lahat. Okay, what time na? Okay. So, yan, contact. Then you can say home. Then you can say about. And about. And yung sa may part nung home. App. You could say home, and you could say and you can also say here contact. Okay. So yan, binigay yung home, break off home, right? So nangyari dito is meron tayong routes, defining routes natin. Kasi kapag nag-direct ka sa something na hindi naman exist, for example abouts, yun nasa home tayo, magkakaroon siya ng error kasi yung abouts na route is hindi siya naka-define dito. unless i-define natin siya, but for now, wag na. So, you need to also define as well. So, ang maganda ngayon sa application natin is define na yung mga routes natin. Hindi basta-basta natin reload yung browser. At the same time, yung mga state natin is hindi na siya basta-basta mag-reset. Kasi nakapagsalaka tayo ng route. And again, it is the fundamental purpose then kaya ginawa yung React, to create single page application and hindi mag-reload yung state through full reload ng browser. But for now, hindi siya basta-basta reload. And na-structure natin yung page into, organized na something like this. Meron tayong single source of truth in terms of our routes. So maybe you have thousands of, pages kung meron man. You can maybe have some sort of like this. May single source of truth ka na in your application. So ayun, pwede na tayo mag-direct sa may about. No. Push na refresh. About, then home. Let's say part of contact, pwede rin. Then sa contact, pwede kang pumunta ng home. Let's may contact, pwede kang pumunta ng about. Yeah, that's the idea. So, meron tayong idea kung paano nag-work yung mga yung some sort of interactive navigation bars, no? So yan. That's the basic idea on how to set up a route, basic route in React in a nutshell. So ayun yung so if you want to explore some more about React, yeah, check nyo lang yun guys, yung documentation ng React router. What else? So last feature na lang is yung site styling. So sa React, pwede mong i-style yung component mo using the style attribute. Yan. In which what we learned before, yung mga sales properties is naka-camel case. So for example, yung background color and say black, then mag-iba yung background color ng H1, right? So again yung color is right. So pero may iba pang way, no? So maraming ways. Ang isang popular way to style React components using styled components. So styled components basically a library. So we can install this to style our application or React components. Pero marami siyang ways, maraming ways, maraming third-party packages. It's just mga popular. We have also called Emotion. ReactJS. Ayan. Pwede mong gamitin ito to your React components. But for now, depende na lang yun sa preferences. Mas sanay na ako sa styled components. So yan, isa natin yung styled components. Okay, so clear. npm styled components, no? Components. Then I will say then yun, susunod natin to, no? Yung styled sa pouch.json. Susunod natin yung structure in terms of installation. The solutions pa. Yeah, cut mo na to. And then yeah, get started. So we could use this to style our application. Ako may import pa to eh. So may natin import nito na. So let's say dito sa may part ng app, we're gonna import style components. And let's say we can create some sort of cons H1 heading on, and we'll say style and backticks. So din na define yung styles, no? Style that plus, my bad. And dito nakalagay yung natin, yung SS no, or yung styling configuration ng H1 natin. So for example, I could use, same dito background color. Black. And yung color white, which based on my understanding sa syntax, ganun pa rin. Hindi na pala kailangan yan. My bad. Hindi na pala kailangan. So, black. So, yun yung syntax niya. Then, colon. Then, same goes right here. White. Color white. And yeah, that's basically it. So, natin magagamit ng H1 na to. So, we can use this this particular heading 1 dito. That's it. So, magiging ganun yung type natin kanina. Oops. Ano yung bread? Start at H1. I think start at H1. Start heading 1. Okay. Siguro di pa siya I will start my dev server again. That's weird. Start at H1. Yun may syntax niya na. Start at H1 and then we can use that particular H1, right? Or maybe mali yung syntax to. Maybe okay, siguro nga. And I will say home. So yun na. So yun, one color. And then maybe 4, 5, 6. Or this one. Yun. So yun yung way on how to create stud components. Medyo matalaga sa yung gamit ng stud components kasi most of the time nagamit ng element. But yeah, that's the idea. That's the new way on how to style your components in React. Okay, so marami siya, no? You have emotions as well. You have stud components. Maybe you want to create some sort of stud anchor tag, so pwede rin. So maybe stud anchor and a backticks and I don't know, maybe color going red, no? And then dito sa part na to ang ilagay mo, so anchor and then href about about okay, and then and about lastly is yung contact, and then I will say here contact, right? Then I will open. So yan, nag-ano yun natin. So sa part ng homepage lang siya nag-reflect, no? Pero pwede siya maging global. But yeah, that's it for now muna, no? There's a lot of options on how to style a component. You can also use CSS modules, so I will create something dito, no? Maybe siguro din na lang up that I will rename this as that module. Yan. So I would say H1 and color black and color is white. Pwede yan, no? Yeah, maraming ways kung how to use. You can use CSS module, and then I will import that particular module. So let's say import up that ini-import pala that module. Let's CSS. That's CSS. Then import module style or yan kaya dito sa part na to instead na gamit tayo ng home pwede nilagay na yung h1 then style niya is style that h1 syntax ko then I guess say home. Yeah, simple yan. Ito na nagbago. So, yan. You can use his modules, no? To style your components. So, yeah. Either way, pwede. So, you could use his modules if you want. You could use style components. You could use emotion. And a bunch of stuff. You can use tailwind. Depende lang talaga yun sa inyo, no? Yeah, that's the idea. So, yeah. I will leave it to you to explore it down that way. And nandiyan palagi yung mga documentation, guys. So, yeah. Takoyaki, anong part ng React ecosystem first one? Yung yung sa may style. I think sa part ng styling. Sa part ng styling in terms of React ecosystem, if that's what you're asking. Based on what I understand. Yeah. Pero yun, pa-part siya ng styling yung sa part niya. Yung kanina. On how to style React components. Any questions, guys? Before we stop our session for the day? Any questions? So yun, guys, no? Yan, thank you, guys. Okay, thank you, Bench, for response. Any questions? So if you have any questions, thank you for attending your React session. Thank you again for recording yung session, guys. Ito yung founder natin, no? And yeah, salamat sa pag-attend, even though na oras na 11 PM na. So tomorrow mag-iwan ako ng mag-iwan ako bukas ng task. Takoyaki, ano to Debian 12 bookworm. Kakalis lang yan nung I believe it was June, July. And yeah, I love this particular distro. So yes, thank you for attending our session, and please support F2LDP on our different social media platforms. Facebook, we have group and page. Meron din tayong what do you call this, incoming YouTube channel. Saan din natin i-upload yung mga stuff natin. And then guys, attend din kayo sa natin, no, sa Christmas party sa December 16, I believe, sa Eastwood McDonald's. It will start at 12 PM, so attend kayo. And yeah, and then guys, thank you for attending our session. Keep safe and have a good night. Bye bye.